Much for having me today to talk about financial aid because we know how challenging the process can be. But you are in good hand with such a great team to walk you through the process. And I will definitely also give you some resources of different events that we will be hosting to also help you navigate the financial aid system. But with that, my name is Maria Rodriguez. I work for the outreach unit at HES, and we are the agency that administer all the financial aid program to help you pay for college. We currently administer 25 plus program. Tonight, I will talk to you about the most popular one, but I will encourage you guys to go to the website so that you can see all the different opportunity to see if you're interested in applying to them or if you qualify to apply for some of the other ones that I will not be discussing tonight. But during this presentation, I am going to talk about the different opportunities that are available. We will talk about the different applications, deadlines. And then at the end, I will give you some suggestion to help you prepare and things that you might be able to do now to be ready when the application are available for you to complete. So with that, let's get started. So now that you guys are planning to go to college, I am sure that you have many questions. And some of those questions might be the one that I listed here. How much it will cost? How do you pay for college? What is financial aid? When and how do you apply? And where will you go for help? And, with this presentation, I'm hoping that I will answer all those questions in addition to probably many other questions that you might have. And then at the end, we will have a Q&A session that, for any question or any concern that you might have, we will definitely be able to address it then. But I think the most important question is to find out what is financial aid. And financial aid help students pay for the cost of attending college. And it may be awarded based on the financial need, which we usually call it need-based aid. Basically, we will be focusing on the parents' financial to make a determination if the student is eligible to receive financial aid based on need. The other criteria is merit-based. And here we focus on the student talent. We will not look at the parent financial. We will just focus on what are the talent that the student have. And they can be academic, they can be based on their athletic ability, if they're playing a sport. It can also be artistic. And this is the type of aid that a lot of family will focus on when they think that they will not qualify for need-based aid. My advice here is that even if you think that you don't qualify for need-based aid, don't disqualify yourself. Let the federal government, let New York State, our agency tell you that you don't qualify. So the best practice is always for you guys to complete the FAFSA and TAP and let us tell you that you don't qualify for need-based aid. And in any event, this is the information that colleges will use to distribute other funding that they have, other programs that they might offer to students. They first need to see where you qualify under federal aid and also New York State aid. So now I'm going to play a very short video. This video is just going to go over the different type of financial aid, and we will come back to the presentation.
Before deciding on a college, you'll need to explore how you'll pay for everything. The good thing is that there's often help available. Through HESP, you can learn more about financial aid options, gift aid, and self-help aid, which can alleviate some of the financial burden. Gift aid is free money in the form of grants and scholarships. These often come from local clubs and organizations, the government, and the colleges themselves. Self-help aid is the money acquired through loans, such as federal loans or work-study programs at the colleges. You should focus on the free money first. Grants and scholarships, which are typically awarded based on need or merit, are free money because you don't have to pay them back.
You can help save thousands of dollars on tuition costs if you qualify for federal programs like Pell and Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grants and New York State programs such as Tuition Assistance, the Excelsior Scholarship, and the STEM Scholarship. So make sure you apply. Learn more about New York State programs at schools.nyc.gov. At each school you apply to, be sure to research all financial aid and scholarship opportunities available. Remember, this is free money, so it's critical to explore these options first.
One thing that I just wish that the video will really go over is that, yes, apply for all the free money, but always know what are the requirements, some programs are based on your family income. So if the income goes up, you might lose the opportunity to reapply for that program. Other program require you to have a certain GPA or keep S amount of credit. So it's important for you guys to apply for all the free money, but always understand what is it that you should be doing in order for you to continue to be eligible to receive that program your second and third year and so forth. So a little more information about the different type of aid, grants, scholarship, and also federal loans. So grants is that free money that the video was discussing. And the first one here listed here is the federal Pell Grant, which is that free money. It's going to be based on the information you guys will be completing on the FAFSA application. So a student can receive up to $7,395. The exact amount is just going to depend on the financial information that will be reported on the FAFSA application. Federal Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant and Work Study are two programs that are given to the student after completing the FAFSA application, but those two programs are going to be distributed by the colleges themselves. So it's important for you guys to just find out how are colleges going to be distributing the funding for those two programs? Typically, it's for needs-based family that have a financial need. But it's important for you guys to find out if colleges are not only going to distribute it for students with financial need, but also for students who have a really higher GPA. So it's important for you guys to have your college list so that you can start asking those questions. And then the last one here is the New York State TAP application, which is the main program that we administer at HES. And basically, a student can qualify for a minimum of $1,000 or a maximum of 5,665. And again, it will depend. The exact amount will depend on the financial information that will be completed on the TAP application. And then the second column, scholarship. So scholarship can be based on, the financial need that a family has. It can be based on the talent that the student have academically or athletic or artistic. And they can come from the community, organization, corporation, religious institution, parents, employer. Sometimes also parents can be part of a labor union. So it's important for you guys to just start researching the different opportunity that can be within your community or organization that you are connected with. And then the last one is federal loans. Federal loan is also going to be part of that different financial aid package that student might be offered. And student might be offered subsidized or unsubsidized loan. Subsidized, what it means is that while the student is in college, the federal government will be paying the interest rate for the loan that the student will have. Just also be aware that loan, you probably will be taking it not only for the first year, but if you're going to a 4-year college, more likely you will be offered loan for the rest of until you get your degree. So you usually have to multiply that number by 4, and every year you are allowed to have a higher loan offer. So it's important, as I always tell student and parent, that this should be a topic of conversation. You guys should be sitting down to discuss if this is going to be part of the financial package that you guys will be exploring. If your cost of attendance is not going to be paid fully by grants and scholarship that you might be eligible to receive. And then on subsidized loan is another loan that will be offered to the student if, and this, what it means is that the interest rate will start accruing as soon as that money is distributed at the college that the student will be attending. I always recommend also for you guys to use the calculator at the federal student website, because it's important for you guys to just use all the tools that are available for you guys to make the best informed decision when you are agreeing to take loans. Loans can be also offered to the parent, the Parent Plus loan. And then you just have to understand that the interest rate for parents is higher. Also, the repayment is also different. 6 months after that money is distributed at the college, parents will need to start making payment. You can always defer it until the student graduate, but is it to your best interest? And because interest rate will start accruing for those 4 years. So like I said, should be a topic of conversation, and you guys should be able to use all the tools available to make an informed decision before agreeing to take loans. Because we know it's you know, colleges is very expensive, and sometimes our kids are going to colleges that they're not able to pay. So that's why the need of taking loans is more common now than before. But it's important for you guys to just educate yourself so that when you're making the decision, you are aware of what you're getting yourself into, and just remember that you have to pay it back plus the interest. And then this is a formula that colleges will use to determine what will be the financial need that a student have if we accept the student to attend our institution. So this is the cost of attendance minus the student aid index minus any other financial assistance that the student might be receiving. So when colleges are able to see the number for this three calculation, then they will be able to see what will be the financial need for the student. So the cost of attendance will always include tuition, fee, room and board, books, supply, transportation, personal expenses, and other expenses that might be unique to that college. But it's important for you guys to know that the cost of attendance is going to be different from colleges to colleges. And the student choice is going to have a big impact on what will be the cost of attendance. And what I mean by that is that a student who is staying at home, commuting to college, is not going to have the same cost of attendance of a student who will be living on campus, or a student who is attending a public college versus a private one, or a student who even thinking about leaving New York State to go to college out of state. So it's important for you guys to know that your choices are going to make a big impact on what will be the cost of attendance. So then let's move on to the second column, which is the student aid index, or SAI. This is basically going to be a number that will be calculated when you guys complete the FAFSA application and give consent for your income information to be transferred directly from their IRS. This is a formula that will calculate the student aid index, and this number doesn't change. It doesn't matter if the student is going to a public school or a private one, that number is going to remain the same. So if the calculation was done and it's a $2,000, it will be a $2,000 in a community college, in a 4-year college, a public college, or a private one. And then any other financial assistance that the student might be receiving from parents' employer, or if the parents are part of a labor union, a private scholarship, any other assistance that the student might be receiving. So now that the college have those three calculations, then they will be able to see what will be the financial need for the student if we accept the student to attend our institution. It's important for you guys to know that there's some schools that are so generous that they will cover the full financial need that a student have. Other school will give a partial scholarship, and other ones will not give you anything. That's why it's so essential that you guys create a list that is very diverse. So make sure that when you start getting acceptance letter, you are able to compare which of those institutions is really giving you the best financial aid package, so that you can make a decision based on those packages to make sure that you're going to a college that you can afford, and that your family are able to help you pay if you need to have any money out of pocket. So here are the sources of financial aid to help you pay for college. The first one is the federal aid, which is administered by the USA Department of Education, followed by New York State Student Aid, administered by the agency that I represent, HES, and private scholarship that is going to be, coming from different company, organization, foundation, even individual. And then institutional aid, which is aid that is going to come from the colleges themselves. So let's start talking about federal aid. So federal aid is basically the first step in applying for financial aid. And I know during last year, this year, it has been a little, challenging because the FAFSA went through a major makeover. And not only did they change the number of questions, they reduced it. They also made a lot of changes to the language that they're using in the application. They also made a lot of change to the application itself. And the intention of all those changes was to really make it easier for students and parents to navigate and completing the application. Unfortunately, last year just created more confusion. And it was really challenging because nothing was working the way that it was intended to. But this year, I think we're very hopeful. Typically the application is available October 1st. And they decided to open it up a little later just to troubleshoot any other issue that a lot of family and student were experiencing last year. So they did open the application October 1st for a very limited group of students to to do like a testing phase where they will be addressing like issue that they were seeing that family were experiencing. We didn't hear any major issue with that. So it's important for you guys to know that at this point, the federal government a few days ago, they opened up the testing phase to the public. So it's available for anyone that would like to complete the application with the beta for testing phase is available. However, the opening day for the public in general is going to be December 1st. So it's important for you guys to, sit down and decide if you guys wanted, just wait for the application to be open to the general public, or if you guys want to try and do it through the testing phase that they have available now. But basically, when you complete the FAFSA, you are applying to receive financial aid through the federal government. And it's important for you guys to know that this is the first step. Colleges will use the information to see how they're going to distribute funding that they have for other programs. And then in our end, we also require students to have a FAFSA on file before completing our TAP application. So when you guys complete the FAFSA, here are a list of the programs that you are applying to receive. Pell Grant, which is that free money that we spoke about, Supplemental Education Opportunity Grant, and Work Study, 2 programs that are coming from the federal government, but it will be distributed by the colleges themselves. So it's important for you guys to find out how are colleges going to distribute the funding for those 2 programs. Is it going to be for student who have a financial need, or is going to be for student with financial need and also with good academic standing. So it's just information for you guys to be aware of. And then direct loans. Loans can be offered to the students, subsidized and unsubsidized, and they can also be offered to parents. And like I said before, it's important for you guys to have a conversation about this topic and find information about, the loan, the interest rate for next year. And then Federal Student Aid website has great information about loans, and also they have a calculator that will help you see how much you will be taking and how long it will take you to pay, and at the end, how much you will end up paying. Because I think it's important information before we decide to take loans. And then if a parent is not going to be able to take a loan on behalf of the student, it's important information the parent should be sharing with the student right now. It's important for the student to be aware of what the parents is going to be able to do for them, so that they can also be prepared and have a more inclusive lists of colleges that they will be attending. And just make sure that you understand that this is money that you will have to pay back plus the interest. And for the parent, they will be checking your credit score to see if you qualify to take a loan on behalf of the student. So the first step, and I, we've been encouraging family to really start creating their student aid.gov account or FSA ID since September, because I think the more prepared you are, the better it will be when you start completing the application. One of the changes that the application has is that in the past, a parent and student was able to start completing the application without having created their FSA ID. Unfortunately, now you have to create your FSA ID prior to sitting down to complete the application. So the student will create their account as well as one or both parents. So if a student is if the student parents are married and they file their taxes together, then only one parent create the account. Now, if they are married but they file separately, then both parents will have to create their own account individually. And then if the parents are divorced, separated, then it should be the parent that is providing the most financial support for that student. If the parents are not married, and it should be the student again that the parent that has provide more support for the student. So I know it's a lot of information, but the creation of the account is a very simple process. If you guys have all the information, it shouldn't take you more than 15 minutes to do it. I just recommend for you guys to just make sure that you have your social security card so that you write and or you create your account exactly with your name and in your social exactly as it is in your card, because this is information that is going to be verified with the Social Security Administration. And it has to match with whatever they have in their system. So if it doesn't match, then you will have to go through a different system of really verifying your information. And the verification takes between 1 to 3 business days. And it's important for you guys to just go to the student aid .gov account and create your account now. We do have a presentation on Mondays where we walk you through the process of creating the account. So if you want to, please feel free to join us, and I will give you some resources at the end of where you can go for all the events that we are hosting. Another change that the FAFSA had last year was that now is really requesting for parents that don't have a social security number, they now have to create a student aid.gov account or FSA ID. And basically, they will start the process exactly as any normal person with their social security number. They will input all the information. But when they get to the part where they have to add their social security number, there will be a box that will indicate that if they don't have one, they will indicate that in that little box. And what will happen is that it will take them to answer a few knowledge-based questions. I believe it's like about 4 questions to verify their identity. If they answer the question correctly, then they will be able to create their account immediately and start completing the application right away. It's important to know that if the questions were not answered correctly, then they will have to verify the identity by providing additional documentation. They will be able to create the account and start completing the application, but you need to provide the information that is requested from you as soon as possible. Otherwise, your application is not going to be processed. So it's important for you guys to just know that even though that you will be allowed to proceed, it's the application is just going to sit there until your information is verified. And then because of all the craziness that went with the FAFSA last year, we decided to create an initiative called New York FAFSA Ready, just to provide information about all the changes and all the issue that the application was having. And we decided to just continue having this information available to students and parents, because I think it's very helpful to understand that, you know, how eligibility is determined, the different type of financial aid that student might be eligible to receive under you know, completing the FAFSA, and also giving them information about our program, the tuition assistance program. But another reason is because we see that students in New York are leaving 225 million of unclaimed financial assistance because they're not completing and submitting the FAFSA application. So we really want to close that gap. And the second source of financial aid is New York State Student Aid, administered by HES, or the Higher Education Services Corporation. We are the New York State Higher Education Student Financial Aid Agency, and we help students pay for college, processing more than half a million in grants, scholarships, and loan forgiveness program each year. And we have awarded nearly 1 billion in financial aid to more than 330,000 students. We know that that number is probably going to increase because the TAP income bracket was increased from 80,000 to $125,000 for families. So we know that that number is going to go up, and we are excited about that, because we know that college is so expensive. So the more students that we can help, you know, for them to pursue an education, I think the better that we will be fulfilling the mission of our agency. So the New York State Student Aid Program, basically we administer over 25 plus program. And here are some of those programs: the Tuition Assistance Program, Excelsior Scholarship, World Trade Center, New York State Memorial Scholarship, Enhanced Tuition Awards, STEM Incentive Program, Math and Science, and Teaching and Master in Education. And as you can see here, we have our website where you can go and see so many other programs that that we administer. And I just want to tell you a little bit about the STEM Incentive Program, because I don't have a slide directed to that program, and I feel that this is a very great program to really give you a little more information, and definitely you can go into the website to get more information about it. But this is the program that when I was talking about you know, that the importance of requirement, knowing what are the requirements. This is a program that it's not going to look at the family financial, it's just going to look at the student talent. So if a student is graduating at the top 10% of their graduating class and would like to pursue a degree in science, technology, engineering, or mathematics, this is a great program for you guys to explore, because it really will focus on the student and not the parents' financial. And then the tuition assistance program, which is one of the main program that we offer at our agency, will be available December 1st, just like FAFSA. Last year we opened our TAP application a little earlier, and that was you know, it was very confusing. So we decided to just open up at the same time that FAFSA is opening up. And basically this is a scholarship that will help student pay for the tuition at any college in New York State. Student can receive a range of from a minimum of $1,000 to a maximum of $5,665 per year. And it's going to be based on New York State taxable income for students who are going full-time or part-time. And it's going to be based on the 2023 New York State income tax information. And it's for family who are making 125,000 or less net taxable income. And basically we will be looking at the number of family enrolled in college. We will also look at the financial status of the student, independent, dependent, and the cost of tuition. So please visit the website for more information. But another program that we offer is the New York State DreamAt, and this is has allowed undocumented students to apply for financial aid from our New York State agency. They can basically, the way that I describe this is a two-step process. First, the student will have to complete the New York State DreamAt application, and then after the information is verified, then the student, if the student is eligible for New York State financial aid program, then they will be able to apply for TAP, Excelsior, STEM, any other program that we offer, but they have to do it within their DreamAt account. You know, a student who is completing the DreamAt application cannot just go and do a regular TAP application, because we will not be able to connect both information. So students who are doing the New York State DreamAt has to complete their application of the program that they're applying to receive within their DreamAt account. The next one is this, and I just want to tell you, we will be starting doing drop-in for any students or parents that have question about New York State Dream. I believe it's December 2nd. I will be helping with that, but it's going to be hosted by our New York State DreamAt coordinator, and she's wonderful. So she's really trying to make sure that students and parents knows some of the requirement. I will definitely share the link for that event with James, so that James can share that with the counselor after school, but we will be starting to facilitate those. I'm not sure if it's going to be weekly, but more often, so that anybody that has question about eligibility requirement for New York State DreamAt, they can join that event, and all your question will be answered. And then let's talk about the Celsius Scholarship. So the Celsius Scholarship is for any student who's attending SUNY or CUNY. And basically this program also covers tuition. That's why it's referred to SUNY or CUNY college tuition free, but it's the last dollar scholarship. What it means is that we will look and see what the student is receiving from Pell, TAP, and any other program that is helping the student cover tuition. And then if there's a balance that needs to be covered, then the Excelsior will cover that, but it's only for tuition. So if the student tuition is being covered by Pell and TAP, even if they qualify for the Excelsior, they're not gonna get anything, because this program only cover tuition. And it's for a family who are making 125,000 or less. The student have to be enrolled full-time, which means that they have to take 30 credit per year, 15 credit per semester. There are some requirements while the student is in college, as well as after graduation. So while the student is in college, the family income has to be 125,000 or less, and they have to take 30 credit per year. And then after graduation, they have to stay in New York for the same amount of year that the award was given. And if they're working, to also work in New York. So that's why I was really stressing out the importance of knowing what are the requirements of each of those free money scholarship that you are applying, because it's important for you guys to be aware. For example, if a student doesn't meet the 30 credit at the end of that academic year, what will happen is that we will be responsible to pay for that first semester, but then that second semester where you did not meet the requirement, you will be responsible to pay off. If, let's say, after you graduate, you do not meet the residency requirement, it will turn into a loan free of interest. So if we gave you $10,000, we're expecting you to pay us $10,000, and we will give you 10 years. So it's important, again, to just be aware, what are the requirements? What is it that you need to do in order for you to continue to be eligible to apply for those programs after your first year. And then the enhanced tuition award is a sister program to the Celsius. The difference with this program is that it's for private colleges that are participating in the program, but the requirements are exactly as the Celsius. For family earning 125,000 or less, a student can qualify to receive up to $6,000. But again, it's going to be based on what other program the student is receiving that is covering tuition. So they will deduct any TAP, and then, the balance that remain to cover tuition, then the enhanced tuition award will be able to pay, cover that. So it's again, the same qualification as the Celsius 30 credit per year. And then after graduation, the student is expected to stay in New York for the same amount of year that they was given. And if working, to work in New York. And let me give you an example. For a student who graduate, get their bachelor, and then they decide that they want to pursue their master degree, and it's also here in a college in New York, and it's a 2-year program. Those 2 years that the student is pursuing their master degree will count as part of the resident requirement. So after they graduate with their master degree, then they will just only have to meet 2 additional years for them to fulfill the residency requirement. So again, just make sure that you guys are able to understand all the requirement, and that you understand what are your responsibilities. And then you have to apply for FAFSA and TAP every year. If a student is applying through the Dream Act, this is also, student can also be eligible to receive it if they qualify under the Dream Act. And then the third source of financial aid is institutional aid. And what this means is that it's going to be provided by the college or university themselves. This can include grants and scholarship, but also it can include loans and work study program. So eligibility is going to depend on the colleges. Every college have their different criteria to, for the student to be eligible to receive those programs. And typically, some colleges will just use information collected by FAFSA and TAP to provide student with the institutional aid program that they offer. Other colleges will require for the student to complete a separate application. That's why it's so essential for you guys to have a college list, so you can have all this information and not lose any opportunity because you're not aware. One application that is very common for a group of colleges or some colleges is the CSS profile. This application is a very detailed application. It's administered by College Board, so many students already have a account with that organization. So make sure that you find out if any of the colleges that you are interested in attending require you to complete this form. This form is available to complete now. So I really recommend for you guys, if anyone here is thinking about attending an institution that require you to complete this form, for you guys to start working on this, because it's a very detailed application. And it's basically first come, first serve basics. So again, just make sure that you create that college list so that you are able to find out what application you should be doing. And then the last source of financial aid is private scholarships. And scholarships, can be awarded to students based on their academic achievement, leadership skill, extracurricular participation, and so much more. So it's important for you guys, particularly if you are one of those families who might be thinking that they might need to take loans, for you guys to be exploring this type of financial aid, because this is the most neglected source of aid, because it's optional. You don't have to apply for the different scholarship. And a lot of parents and family, student, they don't take advantage of this source of financial aid. But here are some of the different ones. So basically merit-based, need-based, which will focus on the financial need that a family might have. Athletic based, which is going to be looking at the student if there are playing a sport, community services scholarship, and private scholarship. And then where do you find scholarships? So local foundation, religious or community organization, businesses or civic groups. I think somebody's having fun scribbling on my screen, please. And then organization, including professional association, your employer, parents' employer, if they're part of a labor union as well. And then the financial aid offices of the colleges that you are interested in attending. Sometimes they have amazing resources. And then your high school guidance counselor is such a great source of more local based information and opportunity. And also just start exploring popular brand and corporation, not only the general one, but also more local based, like the bank that you do business in. Sometimes they offer scholarship. And where do you find them? Here are some few engines of where you can start your search. And this is a list of private scholarships that I put together when my daughter was in high school, her senior year. And her guidance counselor used to send us information about whatever it was that they were doing during the week. And some of that was about scholarships that were coming up when the application was due. And every Friday we got a ton of information. So please make sure that you stay connected with your guidance counselor because they do offer a lot of information. And I can tell you the first one on Digo scholarship, this is one that my daughter's fiance used for his last 2 years in college. And between the college and this organization, he was able to go to college free, not paying anything. And he was not a student who qualified for need-based A. So he needed to pay out of pocket a chunk, a big chunk of money. And with those two scholarships, he was able to not pay for the last 2 years. So it's important for us to really start looking for those opportunity. And then some helpful tips about scholarship is that apply as early as possible. You don't have to be a senior in order for you to apply. I always like doing this presentation to junior because I think junior is the perfect timing for them to really focus on the private scholarship because you don't have to wait to be a senior in order for you to apply for some of them. And then just make sure that you're highlighting your achievement, your talents, your goal in your application. This is the time that you should not be shy because you want to make sure that you have a good chance of getting that scholarship. And now let's talk about private. And I'm gonna bombard you with a lot of information here, but just to give you an idea of how some of those companies are company that we use, that we are very familiar with, that offer scholarship. And remember, everybody's gonna apply. A lot of people are going to apply to this, so I really want you to focus on some of those local opportunity, but just so that you can also start researching all the different opportunity that are out there. And then there's a few search engine, fastweb.com, collegeboard.org, scholarship.com, careeronestop.com. So these are places where you can start your research. I will just recommend for you guys to create a separate email address because you will be bombarded with a lot of information. Make sure that, when you are creating a separate email address that information that you're providing, be careful. There's a lot of unlegitimate places out there. If any organization is trying to get you to pay in order for you to complete an application, you should be careful because this organization are trying to give you money, not to take money from you. And then make sure that if you have any doubts about any scholarship or program, that you talk to your guidance counselor. I'll give you some information where you can get in touch with us as well. But just be careful where you're putting your information as well. So as a senior, what should you be doing now? So completing the FAFSA as early as possible. So just make sure that you start creating your student.aid.gov account or FSA ID, so that when the application open up in December, you will be ready to go. Attending FAFSA and TAP completion event, we will be facilitating them starting, I believe, the second week in December, where you can sign up or register. And what we do is we will pair you up with our financial aid representative that will walk you through the process of completing application. So it's important for you guys to just use all the programs that are there to help you navigate the completion of the financial aid application. If you need to register to a SAT or ACT, please do so as soon as possible. And then just remember that not only would you be completing FAFSA, but you also have to complete the New York State TAP application or any other scholarship that we administer at New York State Higher Education Services Corporation. Just remember the first step is completing TAP. But then if you're interested in any other program such as Celsius STEM, each of those programs have a supplemental application that you must complete. And the timeline is different from TAP. TAP and STEM usually open up at the same time, but STEM will close August 15th. Usually the TAP application is open for almost 18 months. It will close the following year after your senior year. So it's important for you guys to just be aware. Celsius typically open during the spring of your senior year, and it closes during the summer. So again, the more organization that you have for you to be able to see what are the program that you're interested in applying to, the better that you will do, because not every program or application open at the same time. And then other things that you should be doing is making sure that you understand when colleges want you to complete their admission application. When are the deadlines? Learning about the financial aid process just by, attending this presentation is great, but discussing affordability with your family is also key. So the more informed that you are about the process and the different opportunity available to you, the better that you will do. Also, one suggestion that I have is for students, please go to your social media account. Colleges will tell you that they don't check on you, that they don't check their social media, but you don't want to take a chance. If you have something there that is offensive, that you're not going to, that anybody can be offended by something that you did or put in there a few years ago, just make sure that you either delete it or you make your account private. You don't want to lose the opportunity to attend, a college that you want because of something that you did maybe when you were mature, or something that you thought that it was funny, but then it was offensive to others. So that will be my last suggestion. And then we will open it up for question. And then this is what it push forward. So you have our resources. So FAFSA information, you can go to the website listed here, followed by our main website. There you will be not only able to see information about financial aid, but also you will be able to go to our event page, where we not only host this presentation, but we have panel discussion about different topic. So please, feel free to really visit the website and join me in some of those events. And then the last one is the email address, just in case you guys have question. After tonight, you can definitely send your question here, and one of our representatives will be happy to address it. But then we also do a drop-in on Wednesday where anybody can come in and ask question. So it's usually from 2 to 4. And we get a number of attendee asking question, not only about financial aid, but also the status of their application. All right, so
Thank you, Maria. I do have a question. There was someone in the chat that asked, with the new administration coming in,